Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. How's it going? Nick Martino was up in here early. How you doing, brother man? Uh, BNA was up in here. How you doing? Of course, Miss Bushcraft is in here. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Aqua Donkey, how are you doing? Awesome seeing you in here. Yeah, just another Sunday morning social. Yeah, not a heck of a lot going on. And as you guys know, Miss Bushcraft was on vacation this week, so I haven't put a tremendous amount of time into YouTube. Just the basics. So yeah, here we are again. So how's everybody doing this fine morning? Yes, it is Mother's Day. What do you guys got planned? I know I'm gonna cook some steak on the grill later for Mrs. Bushcraft. Probably nice lunch. Burkle Sarah Code, how you doing, my man? Awesome, awesome to see you. Yeah, man, I try to make it into your premieres and your lives as much as I can, but YouTube has been horrible with the notifications. I'm not sure. I have it set to all, but yeah, I very rarely get uh, get notifications. Burkles is cooking French toast. Awesome. Cook out later with my sisters. That's cool. That's awesome, Nick. What are you guys cooking? Anything? Just some steaks or burgers and dogs? Classic burgers and dogs, or some grilled up chicken? I think yeah, everybody would agree. Everything's better off the grill. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's on the grill, it's much better. For EDC, I'm still carrying my Spyderco Sage 5 and CF. And yeah, Pat, I caught a video of the Sage 6. That's looking pretty nice, man. I'm sure you've already seen it. Yeah, it's weird, Nick. Yeah, I think a lot of it too is I think I'm subscribed to a lot of channels. I was going through the list, and some of them I don't know. And I went through like a I hate to say it, but I went through like a mass unsubscribing thing. I went through my list, and there's just some channels I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of done with that. And trying to narrow it down, hoping that I get more notifications for the stuff I want to see and not waste my time with the stuff I don't want to see. Feels like I get notifications every 2 seconds. Yeah. And the more stuff you've got connected, like I found out, like, if you're running the Instagram and Discord as well as YouTube, before you know it, your phone is just blowing up so nonstop that you can't even pay attention to it anymore. Al Triano, how you doing, man? Welcome to the chat. Another day in paradise, man. Yeah, Pat, I think I went through the same thing, man, and I just started seeing like repetition of stuff that I just didn't like. Um, and I just kind of had to yeah, just say no to certain things. Um, yeah, like for example, like I try to support people in less fortunate situations, always have. And I still will to some degree. But when you've been on YouTube for 3 years and all you're doing is, the digital panhandling for 3 years, you've done nothing to really adjust your life, and all your video is, hey, send me don't send a super chat, send it to my PayPal. That way, there I get it today and I can get my fix. Yeah, I did away with a lot of those channels. Oh, Altra, is that the knife you want? Yeah. I don't. I'd like to be doing more giveaways. The problem is I've told too many companies to go pump sand, and I'm too broke to be spending money on giveaway knives and stuff. Maybe I've made some mistakes along. Well, of course I've made mistakes along the way on YouTube. I mean, that's part of the trial and error process and progression in life. And fortunately, it's YouTube and not skydiving, so there's more room for error. But yeah, I would like at some point I'll be doing more giveaways, and I'm gonna stick to my thing. I don't think I'm ever gonna put a giveaway in a title. It's not gonna be the title to a video for sure. Um, just I don't know. I just it seems to attract a lot of the riffraff from what I've noticed. Like you can go to live chats and there's we'll say hypothetically that there's on average like 40 or 50 people in that live chat, and then all of a sudden there's a giveaway and there's 200, 300, 400 people there. They're not really there in support of the channel. They're just there for free stuff. But that's all good. But if there's any free stuff to be given away on this channel, it'll just be if you show up, you show up. That's the way I did the last giveaway. I was stoked about it. And yeah, it was Jeremy Bucknut that won that giveaway. But the sweet part is we didn't really attract any. I mean, the numbers were the same based on all my other live chats. So that I'm happy about. We didn't, I don't want to attract people in the concept of just free stuff. I bought a fixed blade Yo Jumbo. Um, yeah, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do, Nick. Yeah, it's quality over quantity, and to me, I just kind of feel like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get myself in trouble for saying this, but when every one of your live chats consists of a giveaway, are you really just being generous, or are you just trying to buy subscribers? Yeah, I understand the occasional giveaway and stuff, but if your channel's based off of giveaways, are they really there for the information, or are they just there for free shit? Well, yeah, that's a good thing, Nick. Yeah, we've only had a couple, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'll have more down the road. I'm sure there's going to be more companies that I want to work with. Maybe they can give me deals on some giveaway stuff, but or yeah, maybe if I buy something, they'll buy one get one free for a giveaway. That would be cool. I'd work that out with a company, but um, yeah, that's that. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Nick. I don't want it, and then if you don't have a giveaway, people will be like, "What? No giveaway? I just wasted my time." It's like, well, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I don't know. I definitely haven't got YouTube figured out, but I guess I've got every channel's different. I've got my own direction I want to head in, and yeah, we've still barely even scratched the surface with what I want to do. We're not even close. Like we haven't even reached the 1% yet. Yeah, exactly, Nick. And that's why I've been running all these lives is to get to know people, to build a community and to exchange information. Really, that's my I mean, it's deeper than that, I think to a certain degree part of its legacy. Yeah, skydiving monopolized my world for, 2.5 decades plus, and there's a lot of people I should have spent time with that I didn't. So maybe this is a way for them to just come in and, later on down the road or something. John, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Awesome, awesome. I sent a gift into a certain channel I won't name, and not the. Yeah, yeah, Pat. That's unfortunate, man. That sucks. Like, yeah, you try to do a good thing and it bites you in the ass, man. That just falls under the old saying, "No good deed goes unpunished." Yeah, I don't know who that is, but that's rude as hell. I've even thrown out the disclaimer because y'all know how I'm like anti-Chinese knives and stuff. But if somebody sends something into the channel for a giveaway, then there's no room to talk. I mean, generosity is generosity, no matter what form it's in. I guess that's the way I view it. Um, but um, yeah, and we get to go. Well, we just got rid of that dude. Yeah, these nice for girls. Okay, there, Sally McSally. But yeah, we're gonna get rid of that. In fact, Friday night that got out of control. Yeah, this is the live chats. Like I said, are 18 plus, and that's the way they're gonna stay. And I'm not gonna get sucked into an argument with some 15-year-old over what he thinks he knows. John, I'm doing awesome, man. I've had an awesome week with Mrs. Bushcraft. Um, yeah, we got to spend a bunch of time together. We watched a bunch of the Last Kingdom this week. Well, I'll admit I watched more than her. She usually fell asleep before me. But yeah, that's a great series. If anybody hasn't seen that, the Last Kingdom, Uhtred of Uhtred, or yeah, Uhtred, son of Uhtred, Uhtred of Babenberg. Yeah, Nick, we had a great week. It was pretty casual. We didn't do anything epic. Yeah, kind of on a budget in life still, but yeah, we had a great week, and today's our last day. So this live, I'm probably gonna keep in check as far as time goes. We'll probably do the regular 9:30, 10 o'clock ish. Does anybody know if Grumpy Grunt's going live today or? Oh, there's the second accountant. Yeah, the show I'm looking forward to is Happy Gilmore too. That's supposed to be coming out this fall. Yeah, 2 days. Oh, we're only on our first day. I don't think we even had a solid day of sunshine here this week. Like it has rained every day systematically. In fact, Mrs. Bushcraft, like it figures she's on vacation for the week and we got nothing but poo poo weather. So that definitely sucks. But it is what it is. Oh, you doubt Grumpy's going live? Yeah, Nick Martino. Yeah, Adam Sandler was friends with my older brother. They went to high school together. Right at Central High in Manchester, New Hampshire. So yeah, I actually knew. Well, I haven't talked to Adam Sandler in decades, but yeah, I used to hang out at the house, and they geeked out on some D&D. Oh yeah, stacking the cameos. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes, man. Lately when they do these sequels or the reboots and stuff like that, they're kind of it's either hit or miss. I think the only one that's nailed it solid in the past few years was Top Gun. Top Gun Maverick was the bomb. Yeah, John Wick. They got a new John Wick movie coming out as well. What's that? Ballerina. I wonder how much Keanu Reeves is going to be in that. Yeah, talk about a stoic, humble man, huh? Yeah, Keanu Reeves is definitely stand up. I think he's the only one that you don't catch on the list and stuff like that. Yeah, the fifth John Wick series has been awesome with a pencil, right? So it's all we really need is a pencil. LC Buell, how you doing, man? Welcome to the chat. Good seeing you. How was your week? Yeah, did anybody get out do anything exciting this weekend or any hiking, fishing, camping, outdoorsy kind of things? Nothing tops Ace Ventura movies. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of those. That's what's his name there? Still hurting? Yeah, that's hopefully it goes on. That's epic, Pat. Yeah, yeah. If you can get your son to choose a motorcycle road over Minecraft and Reblocks yesterday, yeah, the more I think more people just need to spend more time outdoors. But it's hard to say how to do it because, um, yeah, the trails in New Hampshire, like the regular trails, they are so overwhelmed. I think we got so many massholes that come up here, and yeah, you're gonna see like 100 times more people on the hiking trails nowadays than you do at the shopping malls. It's weird. Yeah, Jim Carrey. I'm not a huge fan of Jim Carrey. I think it's a little bit much overacting for me or something. Yeah, I've never really been a huge fan of movies and television shows and stuff like that. Anyhow, I watch very limited television. In fact, I don't think I've really ever had cable. I had cable for like 6 months. I thought it was ridiculous. Yeah, Nick, you're right. Yeah, everybody's situation is different. But yeah, I've just I've always been out doing stuff. I'd rather do stuff than watch stuff, and maybe that's why. Not really too sure. But yeah, what's everybody EDCing today? I'm still carrying the same EDC that I enjoy. Yeah, my Spyderco Sage 5 CF. Still my EDC. The Leatherman Surge, which yeah, I'm still planning at some point. In fact, I was looking at one just this week. Miss Bushcraft and I were going out. I did a little window shopping, and yeah, I'm still all about the. I think the Wave Plus is going to be my next Leatherman. Southwest SWSD9VE. Oh no, no, yeah, Nick. That's first I heard of that. That's something new. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I got to stay off of current affairs a little bit, or yeah, there's so much stuff I see that's just like, come on, really, this is really going on. How are we putting up with this? And I think I have a would be somewhere. Oh, a Sig Macro. What's the deal? Isn't it? Did you guys see that thing on the Sig 320 or something? They figured out why the thing's kind of like just going off on its own. I've carried a Buck 100 since I was 12 years old. How old are you now? How many years have you been carrying that? That's awesome. That's incredible, man. I love to hear stories that are against, um, over consumerism. I think is the proper term where people just mass consume stuff. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Wow, that's awesome. So you've been carrying. Is it the same exact knife, or have you gone through a few of them? I'm just curious because I know after you can only sharpen a knife so many times. But yeah, that's awesome. 48 years the same knife. That's highly respectable. Geez, that's yeah, Pat. That's the government solution there. If it ain't broke, fix it until it is. I have a few knives I carried in the early 2000s for about 15 years. Still have them, but don't carry them anymore. Yeah, Nick, I'm the same way. I've still got my Spartan blades that I carried for years and years, and now they're just kind of like put off to the side. I've been using my Phobos knives, and I like it. I got the full spectrum, everything from EDC to bushcraft, survival, camping outdoors, hunting, whatever. Yeah. In fact, if I was gonna buy, well, I am gonna buy more knives, I think eventually, but I think I'm just gonna stick with Phobos knives. I did go to that live chat last week with TCal, but yeah, I do like that sapper knife and stuff, but I've got so much stuff I want to do with my Phobos knives. That'll definitely come after. I farted on your weapons. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. But yeah, I guess every live chat's got to come with his morons, right? Yeah, for sure, man. Um, yeah, here we'll just move that out the way, or we'll show you the kydex as well. Um, the kydex. This is what the sheath that it comes with. It is ambidextrous. You just got to flip the dangler over to the other side. Of course, you could put whatever you want on here. It's standard Kydex type stuff. But the knife itself, this is the Phobos knives Tier One BC. It's like 11 and a quarter inches overall. It's a full tang Magna cut. It has red G10 liners with double black micarta scales. Made in the USA, right in Tennessee. Phobos knives is for operators by operators. Owned by a retired Green Beret, Eric Hansen. He served 22 years. He was an 18 Delta Special Forces medic. He's the designer and owner of Phobos Knives, and I think for sure this has become my. Everybody's if you can only pick one knife, which I don't believe in that stuff. But yeah, this has become my primary main go to. And I do EDC this. It goes in my backpack if I'm going out somewhere. Yeah, just getting caught up on the comments. Yeah, Nick, that is yeah, that is awesome about the Titan Light, and that's very true, man. They got that rubber gasket on there that makes it awesome. Penguin Walrus burn. Yeah, Tega. Yeah, this is yeah, by far. I think my all time favorite, and I've owned a lot of knives in my life, a lot of quality knives, and yeah, by far this is my favorite knife. In fact, I think honestly, guys, before I buy another knife, I think I would buy a second one of these. Just like Nick was saying, he bought two of the Exotech Titan lights. He has one put aside, and the other one is kind of active. I think I would definitely buy a second Tier One BC and put it aside just in case something were to happen to it. And by that, I don't think I could break it or anything like that. Yeah, the second one would be a backup in case I lost it or somebody liked it more than I did and took it without permission, kind of thing. That's the only. I don't really see this knife failing in any way, shape, or form. Jason Beecher, how you doing, my man? Welcome to the chat. Oh yeah, Tega. I do sharpen them by myself. Mostly, I use a strop. Stropping, if you maintain it, um, it's really all you need to do. Yeah, if you keep a sharp edge, you keep it well stropped. Very rarely do you have to take it to a stone or something. It is magna cut, so I would highly recommend using a diamond sharpener of some type, whatever your preference is. Um, but yeah, I haven't. I just strop it and hone it. Yeah, and I love the lines on it. It's not just it's the ergonomics are spot on as well. The jimping, it's kind of hard to see. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but it's effective, but it doesn't turn your thumb into Hamburg either. Great knife. It's got the ferro rod notch, which we've smashes this ferro rod notch. I've hit easily hundreds and hundreds of times now, and it's still sharp. It still works. It's great. It also has the bow drill divot in it. So if for some reason you're in a situation where the friction fire occurs, you have a major component that's already done. And the bow drill divot isn't just in the scale; it goes through the full tang, so you don't have to worry about cooking out your scales as well if you do that. Yeah, it'll definitely cut through paper. It'll cut through most things. It's plenty sharp enough. It's definitely shaving sharp. I don't really. I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, you can see it just shaves. You can tell I haven't had to sharpen a knife in a while. I have arm hair, but yeah, it most definitely shaves. Yeah, Nick, I'm there's a few TCAL knives in there. Like I said, I was looking at that sapper knife, and that looks like it could be a great light chopper, all that stuff, and a great knife. And they've got a great selection. It would not be hard for me to find a second knife to piggyback it to, because I would just have to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my Phobos knives. I've still got a ton of stuff with the Phobos knives that I want to do, field work and whatnot. Legendary Princess, welcome to the chat. Tori, how you doing? Good morning from California. Tega, I think yeah, there's a certain amount of balance to it, but I think that yeah, I think you're right. Like a lot of that specialty balances relates to throwing knives. Yeah, Burkles, I still got to while you're here, man. Yeah, I still got to get some scales, and we're gonna Cerakote this one. This is the Phobos Knives Calcula, and this is gonna be part of the OD. Subi, good morning. How you doing, my man? Making sure I didn't miss anybody. East. East, I used to hunt, not so much anymore. The only way I'd hunt now is if I had some private land to hunt on. There's too many crazy people out there on public land, and yeah, I've taken enough chances in my life. Even I know when to say when sometimes, and yeah, I'm getting yeah, it's just gotten way too dangerous. Jaga, this one is the calculus, CACULA, and this is, I think, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best all around. Like, I would carry this for EDC. It's a great lightweight camp knife as well. This is made out of S35 VN steel. Yeah, CPM S35 VN. And I have another one. This has got red G10 liners with the double black G10, I mean, micarta scales. But I have another one, which this one is, yeah, I think I like owning multiple knives. But I'm getting into the groove of it. I've always been a minimalist, but I think now I'm kind of getting into a little bit more. This is the same knife, but it's got a PVD coating, same CPMS 35 VN steel, red G10 liners with carbon fiber scales, and this is kind of like I pamper this one a little bit. I love this knife. This was gifted to me by Eric Hansen. This was his personal EDC knife. But so it's not too often you get that. Yeah, Nick, the jimping on these is next level. Eric Hansen really dialed it in. And that's one of the cool things about his designs and his knives is, like I said, he was a Green Beret for 22 years. So, he's used a knife in every aspect that you could possibly imagine, whether it's, prying crates open, bushcraft, survival, whatever it is. And so that 2+ decades plus whatever life experience he has all goes into his designs. And what I like about Phobos knives is they don't have an insane lineup. He has a very limited lineup of purpose built, working knives. I think he's got about 5 or 6 designs that are consistent. So, yeah, that. So, yeah, Tori, happy Mother's Day. If there's any mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. Um, we only get that once a year, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is the same exact knife, like I said, just differences, and you can feel the weight difference between the carbon fiber and the micarta. There is a noticeable difference in hand. But yeah, I like them both. I like how it's a very light knife. Like if I were trying to reduce weight or I didn't intend on using a knife a lot, this would be like a great camping knife. I mean, you could still baton with it and everything. It's not the biggest knife in the world, which is great, but it's a happy medium. Some knives are just too small depending on what you're doing. But yeah, the overall is just over 8.5 inches. I mean, I'm sorry, 9.5. So like 9 6/8 or so, and the blade is a little over like 4 1/4. The sharpened edge is about 3 3/4. So yeah, I think it's a great all around knife. My favorite knife is by far the tier one beast. Yeah, I guess they're all kind of my favorite knives. We have an awkward situation here. Um, yeah, the guys that are regulars know that all my knives have a story. Um, so I kind of like they're my favorite. Some of them were gifted to me by either family or friends. Some of them were gifted to me from Eric Hansen for like Christmas. Some were given to the channel. Tiega, this blade is Magna Cut. The Tier One BC is Magna Cut. The calculas are CPMS 35 VN steel. The Tier One Mini is CPM 154 CM. Yeah, Pat, I love it as well, man. Yeah, I still EDC it. Just like any other EDC knife. I think the only difference, I do drop it in pocket though. I don't use the pocket clip. I always put it in my left front pocket, and that's kind of where I've always put my folder. And I like this one. It's nice and light. It like disappears into the pocket. And I have looked at the Sage 6 a little bit though. I know you were looking into that as well. That's a sweet knife, but I'm more than happy with this knife. This is great. In fact, kind of like match it up with my calcula if I were going to do a folder and a fixed blade along with. In fact, Pat, it's your fault. You're quite the enabler. This is the first knife I had that had carbon fiber scales, and I love the texture and the grip to it, and that got me interested in carbon fiber scales. And now I have the Phobos knives calcula with carbon fiber, and I'm gonna look at other knives with carbon fiber as well. Yeah, S30. It's hard to see. It's got some fine print on there. Yeah, this is S30. Not sure. We actually have light. The sun is out today. I almost feel like a vampire now. I do need to clean it up a bit. Yeah, do you guys clean your knife every time, or is it a once in a while thing? I tend to clean my knives as needed. I'm a freak. Hey, knife geek, knife freak. There you go. That's a good channel name. I'm a knife freak. Yeah, I got to get one of those microfiber hanks or something. I always carry microfibers, cloths with my camping gear and stuff. Yeah, Darsh, that's all. That's all skill and talent. I don't think that's very knife specific. Yeah, whether or not how effective a knife is, it's kind of like operator type thing. Yeah, Jason. I'll agree with you. Kind of like as needed. I don't get too OCD about it. I try not to at least, but sometimes you just can't help it. So, in fact, that's almost. If I bust out the Tier One Mini, it's kind of like most of my lineup right there. Yeah, I definitely do plan to get another of these Tier One BCs though. It is like I said, if I were to do the one and done thing, that would be That would be the knife. Oh yeah, I'm missing the Alaris, huh? We'll do this in reverse. I do have another Tier 1 Mini as well. This is the satin finish Tier 1 Mini. Orange G10 liners with OD Micarta scales. I'm like, well, I guess for me, considering I used to only own 3 or 4 knives at a time, at this point, I'm filthy knife rich. Like, I'm. Wow, I choked on that one a little bit. But yeah, for me, this is filthy knife rich. Like, I couldn't be happier. Oh, Georgia Adventure? Yeah, Jason, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, the Shaman's a sweet knife. Have you seen the Shaman that Crispy Critter has? That is awesome, awesome. Yeah, Crispy Critter's got a knife collection, really sweet, nice knife collection, along with some other stuff. But yeah, the other knife is a lot of people love this one. This is the Alaris Camp knife, and this is CPM 3V steel. I still got to dye the scales. I got to do a video on that. But yeah, we were talking maybe do one side red, one side purple or something. But I'd have to go out and get the purple dye. I do have the red dye. But yeah, this is CPM 3V steel, and it's also got the bow drill divot there. And I've been beating one up in the kitchen. I try to do all my kitchen work whenever I'm slicing or dicing or doing whatever. This is the knife I've been using. This thing's sweet. Yeah, Crispy Critter he's an amazing individual. I have the utmost respect for him. And yeah, all around great guy. I've had the opportunity to talk to him several times now. And yeah, all around great guy. Like I said, I have the utmost respect for him. He's also a lifer veteran. He served in the U.S. Army for 22 years, and yeah, all around stand up great guy. Yeah, Grumpy Grunt is yeah he Grumpy Grunt's an awesome guy as well. I think the vast majority of people in the knife community, the slingshot community in general, like any type of outdoor kind of people, there's always the vast majority are awesome people. There are some shitheads though, no doubt about it, but yeah, overall, like yeah, 99% of the outdoor community is always pretty awesome. Yeah, Burkles, they come off super easy. Well, not super easy, but easy enough. They're T25 screws. So common stuff, especially for like long arm accessories, things like that. It's a common size in the pew pew community, which makes sense why Eric Hansen would use them. Yeah, they come off pretty simple. If you're not going to switch them out and stuff, maybe put a little bit of Loctite on there just to be safe. But I mean that goes with any. Yeah, the older versions came in T20, but all the newer ones are T25 because that is a really common deal for like we were talking about, like pew pew accessories and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, T20 is common as well. In fact, my older this one is a lot of you guys have seen this. This is my custom Tier 1C. And this one has T20s in it. But this was 2019. And this is yeah, one of my another one of my favorite knives, but it's also my first like custom knives I ever got. So these are extra special. Everybody knows I pamper them a little bit, you know. Why aren't you cutting frying pans? Oh, man, whatever. Y'all know how I roll. And then it's got this is the Gen 2 Tier 1 Mini. And this was made at the same time. And just as a comparison, This is the Gen 3. So you can see the changes that he's made to it. So yeah, there's a nice difference between the Gen 2 and the Gen 3. Um, and I like them both equally. This one is kind of like a little more sleek, a little more pokey pokey. And I do have a couple scale sets for these, for that one in particular, which is cool. They do come available from time to time. You got to check Phobos Knife's website. But I bought these with the knife purchase because, or when Eric made these, because this is my field setup, or was to be until the Chinese aides came along and screwed up all my plans. But and then so yeah, when I'm camping and doing stuff like that, I'd carry the piggyback setup. But when I was to be working in the rigging loft, I EDC a fixed blade I have for years and years. Um, I was just going to carry this, and then I could put the scales on my old skydiving colors. Well, my racing colors as well. I like the red, black, and white combos, so this was going to go on there for work. And then I've got these as well. These are red G10 scales with chocolate brown micarta, and this is G10 white G10 liners with red and black G10 scales. So that was going to go on there for work and whatnot. Yeah, the only one, yeah, Nick, the only one that doesn't have three is the tier one BC, but it's got the bow drill divot. Actually, I can't say the only one. The Alaris is kind of designed the same way. But yeah, all the other knives, they do have three screws. Oh no, no, Jason, I haven't seen those. I got to make it over to that channel again. Um, yeah, Cornbread's an awesome dude. I definitely enjoy his stuff. His lives are awesome as well. He keeps it real. He's down to earth. So yeah, I like Cornbread. Monkey, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Uh, okay. Marcelo, the I know that there were some issues with that back in the day with the Bark River not kind of meeting the standards. Um, but I know that yeah, Eric doesn't use Bark River for a reason. Um, I don't get too much into detail about it. I don't have all the details either, but I know that there was some issues with Bark River. Um, just some quality control issues and stuff, so he stopped using them as an OEM. Yeah, Monkey. I would think not. I don't even know who you are, man. Um, yeah, the people that have mods in here are people I know. In fact, I've had issues with just random moderators because they'll. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no at this point, man. I have no clue who you are. I don't just hand that out randomly. DK, thanks, man. Yeah, these are all Phobos knives made by Eric Hansen, and Phobos Knives is out of Tennessee. So definitely, and they're 100% made in the USA. And everybody here knows how much I like to support USA made companies. I try to as much as I can. I know you can't 100% of the time, and there are other good companies out there making stuff. Um, but yeah, I try to keep to companies with morals and ethics. New channel, brother. New channel, brother. Yeah, Nick, they're all yeah, they're all Eric Hansen for sure, 100%. Cal 420. Knives are life. How you doing, my man? Welcome to the chat. How's your day going? And happy Mother's Day to those who we haven't said Happy Mother's Day to yet. But yeah, I think yeah, this is by far the most knives I've owned in my entire life, I think. No, I don't think I know. Yeah, without a doubt. And yeah, what else have we got going? The Judge, how you doing, man? Welcome to the chat. How's your day going? So yeah, so this is pretty much we could even take the doubles out. Yeah, we'll try to now I do know at some point he's coming out with a this is a the Gen 2 Tier 1C. And he is planning on coming out. He's working on a Gen 3 of this knife. And this is it's got a full 0.25 inch spine, 12 and a quarter overall. It also has the ferro rod notch, but this is the Gen 2 version. So I'm really interested to see what the Gen 3 is going to be when that comes out. That's definitely going to be on my list of things to pick up in the future. So I guess you could kind of say that this is Phobos Knife's lineup right here. And in my opinion, it covers everything from simple EDC to bushcraft, fieldcraft, as well as whatever you want to call it. You could use it as a self-defense combat knives. Yeah, everything the tier 1 mini, and then the tier 1 mini. The mini came out first, but the tier 1 mini he made because this has got a 4-inch blade, and a lot of states don't allow you, like 3.5 inches the max. And he had a lot of requests to make something that's more state compliant for those states. So he made a downsized version of the tier 1 mini, thus the tier 1 mini. I really dig it. I like the skeletonized scales. It's the same steel, the CPM 154 CM. Great EDC fixed blade, but I tend to keep the mini as a field knife with my tier 1 BC. And then for my EDC fixed blade, I carry the tier 1 mini. And also the calcula, I'll rotate between the three sometimes, but mostly the tier 1 mini I use as a piggyback on my field knife. And then you've got the calcula, and I think any three of these is depending on where you live and what local laws are and everything. These three are definitely in the EDC category for whether you're going to IWB or do a pocket slip or anything like that. They all fit into that category. With the calcula kind of overlaps into like a smaller camp knife, or if you're not going out being like super Mr. Bushcrafter like YouTube stuff, but you are going to carry a knife and you're going to use it for small tasks, whether you're cutting cordage, food prep, anything like that. So this is the like middle knife that bridges the gap, in my opinion, between EDC and a field knife. And then these get more into field knives. I mean, you could EDC them if you want to. Maybe Scab would definitely EDC these, but for me, these are more like camp knives, field knives, stuff like that. So you've got the tier 1 BC and then the Alaris. The tier 1C, unfortunately, I can't find them anywhere. But like I said, he is coming out with a Gen 3 version of this. But I can't find a tier 1C available anywhere. They're all sold out. Yeah, Burkles. I'll definitely yeah, we'll talk about that on Insta. I'll throw you my phone number or something. We can talk about it. Um, yeah, the pummel. on end, like, yeah, you can definitely use that less than lethal, and it's all, yeah, I guess, yeah, it's definitely an attitude adjuster. You could use it as a small hammer, cracking stuff, whatever. Um, yeah, Henry, all of them. Yeah, we'll just answer silly questions with silly answers. But if you're actually looking to get through Kevlar or something, the finer to the point, the more penetration you're going to get. So to legitimately answer that, I don't really promote that kind of stuff, but I would say that the Calcula and S35VN is probably the pointiest of the group and is going to get the most amount of penetration in that aspect. But DK, no, none of them are deer antler. The available materials is typically either G10 micarta or carbon fiber. Yeah, they're who I can't remember the channel, but I watched a thing on that this week about what's used as weapons and because it's a UK channel because they're talking about how they outlaw ninja weapons and everything. But really, I even talked to Miss Bushcraft about it because she's always doing the Who's Done It shows. You guys know what I'm talking about. And yeah, the majority of crimes aren't done with high end value knives that we use for outdoor activities. It's usually done with a kitchen knife or even more common, whatever somebody can pick up. In fact, I would say that yeah, a lot of people, it's done with hammers and whatnot. So, yeah, Nick, yeah, I've talked to Eric Hansen about his knives on multiple occasions. And yeah, there's a tremendous amount of thought that goes into his nice thought planning. And like I said, that's why his lineup is limited. If I mean, it's like changing a knife, you typically by 5% or something, then saying calling it the new Hawkeye Plus, and then you change it by 5%, and it's the Hawkeye Plus Plus, and then you change the handle a little bit. Now it becomes the Nighthawk, and like these little 5% changes that are made in knives that they kind of like grossly overlap, and that's why I look at it in this perspective where I have this side of the knives that's EDC orientated and definitely goes into camping, bushcraft, fieldcraft, whatever. And then this half kind of gets more into that with substantial differences. Like the tier one BC is substantially lighter than the tier one C. Um, but the tier one C is going to be awesome at light chopping and stuff. If you take down something small, like 5, 6, 7, 8 inch diameter, small tree or something, you can do some serious delimbing with this thing. There's enough weight to it where you can use it for light chopping, delimbing, stuff like that, notching, whatever. Um, but it does have some heft to it. It's a CPM 3V and it's a full 0.25 inch, 12 and a quarter versus the tier one BC. Um, you can see the size difference. There's there's enough difference in performance to say that these two aren't identical knives um, in the overall design and the application. Like the tier one BC, yeah, you could do some light chopping with it. You're going to put some swing behind it, but it is a substantially lighter knife. Um, the CPM 3V, people would argue, is easier to sharpen over MagnaCut. I really don't see a difference in sharpening because everybody will say like, "Oh, the super steels are a pain to sharpen." They are if you're trying to sharpen it with a stone. Um, but if you get into diamond plates and stuff, a diamond sharpener, it's the same exact thing. The diamond is gonna, yeah, it's gonna cost a few more bucks, but hey, let's face it. Donnie, how you doing, my man? Welcome to the chat. Always good to see you, brother. For those that don't know Bless Knives, Donnie Bless makes some awesome, awesome custom folders, fixed blades, and other things. And he's been putting out some great videos lately on his stuff. I have gotten to see some of your stuff lately, Donnie. You're doing awesome, man. There's a folder you came out with recently that I hate you for making that, dude, because I'm like, dude, I totally want that. It looks like I'll tell you which knife it is. You have that filler in the back there, and it almost looks like vertebrae going down the back side of it. Is Man, that knife is awesome. But yeah, stop making stuff like that. You're making me jealous, dude. Yeah, the mini Ripley, the Ripley. Yeah, Donnie's been cranking out. He always cranks out some awesome work. If you haven't checked out Donnie's channel, check out Blessed Knives. He is doing some awesome work. And at someday we're gonna we're gonna get a Donnie Blessed knife. Yeah, the Chet Buster Ripley. I think I ignored the name because if I know it, then I might want it or something. Yeah, that is Pat. You need. Yeah, what's going on? The Stroppy stuff is pretty good. Gunny juice. Yeah, I got to upgrade some of that because I've been using just the standard the green compound there. In fact, yeah, I got to clean my strop. I got to redo my strop. But yeah, and I know if I switch the compound, I gotta yeah. Yeah, Cal, thanks for stopping by, man. Knives for life. Yeah, meteorite would be so sick. Yeah, the yeah, acid etch some meteorite. And yeah, I guess that stuff takes like millions of years to form. It can only be formed in space. And it's kind of like this digital like transformer style etching that you get out of it. Yeah, I've seen some of the. There's who did it? I think it was like a 45 cal. They did the scales and stuff with meteorite. James, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the chat. DK, how you doing? Yeah, Hawking Custom SL. Yeah, I wonder how much I know like a small meteorite is worth like thousands of dollars, and then the processing. That would be a goal. Like rather than digging for gold, go find your own meteorite and then have some knife scales made out of it. That would be awesome. I wonder. I bet you Donnie could do some amazing stuff with that. Get him some meteorite but you're talking I don't know how much that would add to the price. That Yeah, it depends on what you scored. Oh, 3 and 4, yeah, the tier one BC and the Alaris. Or no, the yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the Calcula. I guess yeah, my three knives that I like the best that I would roll with are these. Well, I oh man, I can't say that. Um, because I love all my knives. You guys know that. But as far as if I'm going off to the field or I'm going off on another one of my stupid 2,000 mile adventures, these are the three knives I'm going to carry, and that's based off of my old knife carry, which was these here. Did I fit them all in the video? Yeah, we got a mess going on here, guys. There, we'll just go OC on this for a second. Hold on, guys. Are you down with OCD? Yeah, you know me. For everything else, there's MasterCard. So these Spartan blades are what I carried for years, years and years. And but I was looking to increase the comfort and performance of everything, as I was looking to do more bushcrafty kind of cool dude stuff. Um, so these are the three that I carried, and then this is like an upgrade of that. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, that's a totally cool concept. Yeah, Pat King Tut had one, and there, yeah, I've seen that as well. And but obviously they didn't acid etch the blade. They didn't do that back then, and they won't now. But yeah, if you've seen that stuff acid etched, that is something else. Yeah, because they didn't have that iron technology or whatever back then. Yeah, but the King Tut knife is awesome, and once you start going down that road, it's um, the small one is looking better. And Gumby Gumba, how you doing, man? Gumby Gumba, that's an awesome screen name, dude. He's got the little Gumby guy, the green Gumby guy. I remember that dude from back in the day. Um, Yeah, so this was my carry here, the Spartan Blades Horkos, the Frike, and the Enyo, and then I ran across the Tier One C. It was actually Prepared Mind 101. Chris Tanner, I was he had a thing. His thumbnail was awesome. Like he did a great thumbnail. Totally sucked me into it. But to be honest, and I even talked to Eric Hansen about this once. Um, when I first saw the name Phobos, I'm like, I was thought it was like some other Chinese knife company, Savivi Wee Phobos, but I ended up, sometimes Chris Tanner's hit or miss. Sometimes he's got some real gimmicky gadget stuff that's just entertaining to watch, and other times he's got some really solid tools. And the knife that he showed was the Tier One C, this knife here, and that's what caught my interest. And because what I was looking for is something with more ergonomic design handles, scales, because the Horkos is great, but there's not a lot of contour and stuff to the scales, and over prolonged use, it does get uncomfortable. But I got kind of got these out of compactness, and this was kind of like my introduction into more modern steels. All of these are CPM S35VN. And I started with the Horkos, and then I got the Enyo because I have to piggyback stuff. I kind of got them as a package. And then people would freak out over the Horkos. If you're on the AT or something, they're like, oh, no, that's, big commando knife. You don't need that, whatever. Um, and the Enyo is a great little backup knife. This is an awesome necker knife as well. If you're into that, I don't wear anything around my neck too many years. I don't wear jewelry in general because of skydiving. But it's cool. It's a great backup knife. But to use it is kind of small. Um, and no scales to it whatsoever. So it's great for small tasks if you're just going to cut a little paracord or do some stuff like that and you don't want to freak out the Graham Weenies. Um, yeah, the Graham Weenies even dig this knife too. The few that I've met that have seen it, but I was looking for something that was more functional. I was kind of wanting to do more outdoor, like bushcraft, lean-tos, things like that. So I wanted something that was more comfortable for prolonged use with better, like I said, more ergo contour scales and stuff. And that's what brought me to Phobos knives. But my first impression of the name was like, I didn't get it. If you don't know, you don't know. But once you know, you understand. And once I understood and I heard about the company Phobos and everything, it obviously caught my interest. And that's when I contacted. I looked around for the knives. They're sold out everywhere. So I eventually said, well, maybe they have some. The maker has some. So I contacted Phobos Knives and said, hey, what's the deal with your knives, dude? How do I get some? Tenzin, how you doing? Oh, it's easy. Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, thanks, DK. Well, smash the like button on the way out if you could. And yeah, we do live chats every Friday night at 8 p.m. and Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. I don't know how long they last, it varies. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us nonetheless. Yeah, yeah, Nick, I'm very limited on the jewelry and stuff, but yeah, I'm not sure if you what the deal is. So yeah, so I basically just I ended up getting into the tier 1C, and I love it is a bit heavy, but it's a tool. It's definitely one hell of a tool. And I love the knife. And like I said, this is my first custom knife ever, and I love it. But he came out with a tier 1 BC. I got my hands on this, so I kind of like I replaced my Horkos with the tier 1 BC, the Frike with the Calcula, and the Enyo with the tier 1 Mini Mini, and it filled in all the gaps and stuff that I wanted to. Yeah, yeah, thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. Yeah, I try to throw I'm gonna stick to quality stuff. I mean, yeah, you can get all like there's all kinds of offers from all the Chinese companies and stuff like that, but there's already thousands of channels doing that stuff, so I'm just gonna keep mine into my, this is what I dig. I have to I don't know, like we've talked about, I don't know if it's good or bad or, it's a game changer on how you run your channel. Um, Yeah, yeah, Shiva. They're all my knives are sharp. I mean, even I don't really use my Spartan blades anymore, but these have gotten to just from stropping. There's a bit of a mirror polish on the edge now. They didn't come that shiny, but yeah, all of my knives are sharp, man. They're all shaving sharp. But yeah, I mean, I still like Spartan blades, and they definitely have a purpose and all that good stuff. But for me, yeah, I was just looking for something like I said with a little bit more comfort in the grips. I'm not eatable. I'm not sure. Oh, Charlie, you were running the channel? Yeah, Nick, and yeah, a little maintenance goes a long way. I'll always preach that, especially as a prior parachute rigger. Like maintain your gear. No, okay, then I'm not. Can't say I do. I laid back the edges over. Yeah, Shiva, you could use a knife for shaving. I won't lie, I have it on a few occasions. Um, yeah, I prefer to use it like a right tool for the job. I'd rather have a regular razor out there doing it, but it is what it is. But yeah, if you wanted to shave with a knife, you could if you get the skills. So yeah, that's how we're rolling with that. Mm. And then yeah, having the tier 1 mini, like I said, this is my EDC. So the stuff I use for the field tends to stay pretty sharp. I do plan on yeah, Mrs. Bushcraft goes back to work tomorrow. So hopefully the weather weighs out for us and I'm gonna get some outdoor stuff in there more often now. Um yeah, I've got to get on that long form game, something fierce. Oh, Shiva, yeah, thanks, man. And we get into other stuff too. It's not just knives. I get into fire kit and saws and geez, I even have like an MSR hammer, in my car camping kit. That way there, I always have a hammer. The MSR 10 stake hammer. So I get into a lot more than just knives. Yeah, we get multi tools, saws, yeah, and eventually some soft goods. When once I get this channel a little bit more productive, yeah, we'll get into tents, tarps, hammocks, sleeping bags, all that, and we'll pick through them stitch by stitch and find the quality stuff. Yeah, we're gonna get into some backpacks and everything, but yeah, two major obstacles is number one, finding quality products made in the U.S. is my number one priority. If I absolutely cannot, then I'll like the saws, silky saws, in my opinion, and make some of the best saws. They're out of Japan. I don't mind. But yeah, my major priority is U.S. made products, and then and definitely veteran owned. If it's a veteran owned business, then I definitely try to help promote that. Oh yeah, the digging tools that I got, Nick. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, those are awesome as well. We had that out on Friday night. Whoops. Yeah, because I've been through so many digging tools, and they end up just being like throwaways. But I found this company, Predator Tools, out of New Jersey, and this is their Model 85C, their military hand digging tool. It does have a blackout blade, but they're USA made. The owner is George Leshy, and it's a mom and pop shop. His him and his wife run it. George Leshy makes all the tools and everything, and then his wife does all the shipping and computers and orders and all that stuff. Kind of like what Mrs. Bushcraft and I would like to do with this channel at some point, if I can grow the channel to that level. But yeah, he makes some awesome hand tools. And this is definitely falls into the buy once cry once. They're not overly expensive. This one is $50, and it does come with this sheath. But the really cool one is the Model 75C Crusader, which is this one. I just have that there. And the really cool thing, and this will geek out for the 80s guys, and yeah, Burkles, this is the one I'm going to ship to you, my man. Um, it's got a hollow out handle with a waterproof capsule. It's got a button compass in the end. And then I actually got the little toilet tabs, man. Um, last chance shit tickets, if you want to call it that, whatever they are. But you can actually fit 9 of these in the handle here. So if you're, yeah, there's actually 9 in there, and these fit perfectly in there. Kapow! And it's waterproof, so you just got to wet them. Like use your Camelback or something. Pour a little dump, cap of water from your canteen or something, and you're solid. Of course, I got something stuck up in there now. But yeah, you can fit 9 of these in the handle. It's waterproof. It has a gasket around the end. And these ones, the MSRP is like 84.95 or something. And they're stamped out. They're numbered. This is number 574. It was made in 2024. It's got the year. Nice little engraved eagle there, along with the Predator Tools USA stamped right there. And the only thing I don't agree with is this digging use only, but I'm sure you could use this for whatever you wanted to. Yeah, and this is great. I think this is going to be perfect for clearly digging cat holes or Dakota fire holes, digging up bait for fishing. If you're doing a little fishing, you could use this digging up bait. If you're doing some of that fancy outdoor cooking with the Dutch oven, this would be perfect for scooping some coals up and throwing it on top of the oven. But these are the two that I have at the moment. And then I'm ditching the e-tool concept because I'm tired of trifolds that don't work and all that stuff. Um, yeah, but he does have some like a huge variety of different like full metal shovels and stuff, and that's going to be the next thing I get from Predator Tools. He's got a couple models I've been looking at. But yeah, trying to buy stuff, re-outfitting for the whole bushcraft channel and everything has gotten pretty expensive. So I do what I can when I can, and yeah, and Nick, that's a cool thing. He might have a model like that, And you might even be able to call them up and say, "Hey, look, George, I was wondering if you're doing another run. Could you just make me a straight edge?" But the serrated on this side, it's not a saw for wood, but it's designed to like cut through roots. So if you've got a lot of roots or something, that would be a cool thing to have. There is even like a slight edge to the other side. I mean, it's not like knife sharp. You're not going to shave with it or anything, but it'll definitely help you slice through some roots. But it's extremely well made. It's solid. It doesn't flex and stuff. Yeah, you could take down saplings. You could do a lot with it. I think it's and this is one I'm gonna do. Like I was just telling Burkles, this is the one I want to Cerakote, and then I want to get custom kydex for it. And I've got this pouch here. This is a Heliocon Tech Navtel pouch, and it's got these cross straps. So when I have I'd like to make my own kydex, but that's just crazy expensive. So I'm gonna have the custom kydex made so it'll fit these cross straps, and then that'll go on the like piggybacked onto the sheath, and this will carry like an ample supply of shit tickets. Like you can get those individual packeted wet wipes, whatever you want to call them, shit tickets, and then yeah, you've got the ones in the end here. You could carry that as well. You can also carry like a fire kit in here. You can carry some stuff to start a fire, whatever's clever. But my eventual plan would be the custom kydex sheath. And then, like I said, this is going to be, we're going to have this Cerakoted. And then kapow, this is going to go on the front. So, like, utilize that space a little bit better. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's what the cool kids are doing, but we're going to make it so that this is what the cool kids are doing. Let me check the comments here. The sheath that comes in now is just a standard nylon. It's like a 500 denier Cadora. It does have an insert in it, and then this gets into some ballistic type of nylon up top. It's I would say it's adequate, but it's nothing like super fancy. It's definitely functional, but I just like the idea of going with kydex with it. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a few more pouches. The Navtel pouches are pretty handy. I do have to get some new battery banks. So once I get some battery banks, I'll figure out what size pouch I'm gonna get as well. I'm gonna set up something like that. But yeah, by having the kydex, it would be a lot easier to mount different things if I wanted to. But yeah, that's the digging tools that I've been into. And yeah, I'm gonna probably start using this one. Do some field test. Well, it's not even field testing. Like this stuff has been field tested. Predator Tools has been going for 30 years, over 30 years now, I think. But we'll say 30 to be fair. George Leshy's the original designer, owner, and they get they're extremely popular in the metal detecting community because it's something they use quite frequently. But it's also used by military EOD and recovery teams. And they've been using, like I said, the guy's been going for 30 years, so everything's been field tested already. Yeah, Shiva, you're. I mean, man, like I was saying, if you look at crime statistics, there's probably been more hammers used than knives, and not even an outdoor hammer like this. Like just your general household hammer is probably taking out more people than a high end knife. I think that the people that buy higher end equipment are actually using it what it's for. I don't think your average criminal thug lowlife is like going out like I'm gonna buy myself a high end quality knife. No, they usually grab whatever's in the kitchen block. So yeah, you can use anything for a weapon, and it's not my goal, my man, because this right here would do just as good a job. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's it's a great Yeah, screwdrivers are plenty good enough. They do the pokey pokey thing. So um, I think that's why it starts to kind of like uh, what's the best way to put it? I'm not really sure. But when people come into the live chat over weaponizing something that has no intentions to be used as a weapon, at least for my application, you could use anything for a weapon. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, a screwdriver is just an all in waiting. Yeah, Nick, you're absolutely right, my man. But yeah, yeah, look at what's actually used in those crimes, and you'll find out that 99.9% of the time, it's came out the kitchen block, or it's just some average EDC framing hammer, whatever household hammer people have around, or a shovel, or something. It's usually not, yeah, somebody's high end bushcrafting knife or fieldcraft knife or any of that stuff. And I know that a lot of military designs have that in mind. They are fighting knives, but even I've found like the Spartan Blades Frike is specifically marketed as a fighting knife, but I didn't buy it for that reason. I bought it for its extreme low profile. So it's like you can IWB this thing and you don't even notice it. You can pocket carry it and it disappears, especially with the Kydex. Um, I have no clue where I put my Kydex, man. I have got a mess going on here. There's Kydex for this thing somewhere. There really is. I'm not lying. Where it is, I do not know. Um, but yeah. Anyhow, back to my point I was making is this is marketed by Spartan Blades and stuff as a fighting knife, as a self defense, offensive, military weapon. But I didn't buy it for that purpose. I bought it because I like the S35 VN steel. The Horkos was my introduction to that. I like the edge retention of it, the whole 9 yards. But I wanted something in a smaller package than the Horkos, and so I got this, and this handles this cuts summer sausage like a champ. Not gonna lie, everybody, that's one of my favorite camping snacks. Um, and it does everything. And I would EDC it. This is cut thousands of times different cordage, because I would EDC this working in the rigging loft. So whatever HMA, Spectra, Vectrin, whatever parachute lines I was cutting for the day, this cut it. Um, the silver pry bar looking tool. I have a silver pry bar looking tool. Are you talking about this thing, Donnie? This is a hammer, man. This is a MSR Mountain Safety Research like camping hammer. Like it's got the wider thing. You can use it for pulling out your tent stakes. Um, or do I have another shiny silver wedge? I think that's the only thing, Donnie. Greg, what's happening, brother, man? How you doing? Yeah, yeah, Penguin. It's kind of an ongoing joke with the cutting summer sausage, man, because I have cut a lot of summer sausage camping and bike touring. It's one of my favorite snacks. You don't have to refrigerate it. Um, yeah, man. Oh, in fact, all these. No, maybe not the. This sucks at cutting summer sausage. Like if you get the Hillshire Farm, it's like the 1 pound summer sausage or something. The blade's too short, and you got to like cutting a big log with a bow saw. You got to kind of rotate it as you cut to get all the way through. But yeah, the Ennio is a great like necker, all that stuff. But yeah, the Frike, the Horkos, man, definitely the Horkos. The Horkos has cut more summer sausages than any other knife in history. Like we're honest here, man. We're not gonna, I didn't build a treehouse with this thing, but I sure did cut some summer sausage. And whatever other tasks come up, mountain camping and climb use though. Yeah, it's this yeah, Donnie, this goes in the car camping bag. Not something I backpack or would bike tour with. When I'm bike touring, I the bottom of cycling shoes are really solid. So I just use my before I take my shoes off, I just kind of like push it in with my shoe. It's kind of like having a bicycle pedal permanently on your shoe. But yeah, that's what I got that for. That was just like anything can be used as a weapon. Ground Fog, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the chat. Um, yeah, we like to keep it real here. It's legit, man. Um, I mean, like I said, it's cut tons of other stuff. Like I said, tons and tons of cordage, and like more so than any bushcrafter on YouTube because that was part of my job description. As a master parachute rigger, I can't count the number of line sets I've made and relined canopies with. Like, on average, a parachute lasts about 2,000 jumps, give or take a little, depending on your geography. And you need a new line set depending on the line type every 2 to 500 jumps. So every 2 to 500 jumps, you're relining a parachute. And so I cut tons of cordage, and I would just use my EDC knife the vast majority of the time, because you don't want to cut your cordage straight on. You want to kind of cut it at a 45, and I just always found it easier to cut it with a knife than shears or scissors. The batches down over there. Um, Ada, are you on? I threw the baby down the stairs some clothes. Uh, I'm trying to decipher this. Joe, that's big knives. No, there's way bigger. If you want to see some monster size knives, check out Choir Boys Outdoors. Yeah, my man Scab, he's got some pocket swords. Like yeah, those are. I think these are average size knives for the most part. I've always been in that like this the Horkos, the Tier One BC are kind of like my favorite. Like that's a big knife for me. And that this one's 11 1/4 roughly. This one's like 12 1/4. This is on the larger end of a knife for sure. I never really got into bigger knives. I figure once it gets beyond this point, like this size knife, at that point I'm either using a saw or I'm using a hatchet or an axe. I wouldn't need a shoot. I don't even jump off the couch. And I definitely don't jump out of bed. Yeah, jumping jacks is all the jumping I'm doing. Ground fog. I cut parachute cordage at 45-degree angle. When you cut it straight on, then you're cutting it in line with the weave, and it unravels a lot quicker. If you cut it at a 45, it doesn't come apart the same way. That's in the pointers manuals, the kind of like the pointer manuals of the parachute rigger's Bible. Do you have any samurai swords even? Yeah, sorry, Shiva. No samurai swords. No swords whatsoever. Not that I wouldn't get one, but I think I'd be more into like a gladius or something over a samurai sword, or like more like a 1.5 hand sword. I would be down, but I just the practicality. Like, what do I need a sword for? I mean, it's cool. Actually, I've owned a Chinese broadsword and I've owned katanas before. I used to take Wowlum, Chu, Northern Prairie Mantis, Kung Fu, and my weapon choice was the Chinese broadsword. So, but it was more like of a forms type sword than it was like a highly functional combative sword. Yeah, ground fog. I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna plan that for Friday. I'm gonna get into some cordage use. I've done some shorts on it. But I'll plan that for Friday's live. I'm gonna get into some cordage and cordage maintenance, some stuff like that. I'll put something together. But yeah, where did I was doing some shorts like kind of a parachute rigger's advice on cordage and stuff. But I wanted to try to keep skydiving and stuff and parachute rigging out of well, to some degree. But yeah, that would be the plan there. Sumar. But yeah, none of that stuff. No, Shiva. These I didn't design any of this. This is all designed by these Spartan blades. Different, but um, the Phobos knives are designed by Eric Hansen. I'm not a knife designer or anything. No. Not that I wouldn't down the road. I wouldn't mind doing a collaboration with Phobos Knives down the road. But I don't even. I think I've lost interest in that because um, there are certain like I like his knife design so much that if I were to try to design a knife, it would just incorporate the stuff that he's doing with a lot of his knives. So I would just kind of be knocking off the guy's knives. So I'll leave the knife designing up to the knife designers, and I'm just an end user. I'll field test it. I'll beat the piss out of it. I'll cut tons of summer sausage, but I don't really think I should be designing knives. I think that I'm far too influenced by other knife designs that I like. So I would just kind of be like, yeah, that's not really my thing. In fact, I have a slingshot design that is influenced off of the Phobos knives design. So that kind of like gave me a little insight into, yeah, I guess I don't know. Yeah, I probably shouldn't design a knife because I just wouldn't feel right doing it. I don't have that much knowledge into knife design, and how things affect it and all that. There's tons and tons of stuff to know, um, but a unique sword like for using to kill planets of grasshoppers. Dude, yeah, I'm not really sure I've ever run into that problem. Yeah. Um, oh, and we still have if anybody's still interested, we still have a bunch of the troll hunting club patches, the FAFO division, F around and find out. We still got a bunch of those, as well as the troll sniper tabs, and those are still that's $20 per set, so you get both patches for 20 bucks, and that is shipped to you. Groundhog, yeah. Um, yeah, hunting grasshoppers with BB guns if you're not frying ants with magnifying glasses. Yeah, I've heard of Ken Onion Design Knives. Doesn't he's got a lot to do with Kershaw, and he also has a like a collab sharpener, right? Is it with Work Sharp or something? I think it is. I need a sword with the Eye of Thunder to give me sight beyond sight. Yeah, Thundercats. Well, that's a walk down memory lane, huh? Yeah, I remember I caught a couple episodes of Thundercats back in the day. That was pretty cool. The He-Man, Transformers, all that classic stuff. Greg Stevens has that. I have two Ken Onions and want the new Buckhorn too. Which Greg, are those the Kershaw Ken Onion? Doesn't Kershaw get into that? By the power of Grayskull. James is rocking it. We all yeah, everybody knows what we're talking about in here. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to us, and that's the part that matters. Kind of like the whole I don't care for a lot, but what I care for a lot. That's got to be one of my favorite sayings. That's me in a nutshell. If I don't care, I just really don't care. But if I care, I really do. You don't have to question that for sure. Um, where'd the other knife sheaths go? But yeah, so these man, I don't know why I tried selling these Spartan blades. I won't get into the negative end of trying to do that, but they just I don't know. I guess they're just going to collect dust because I really don't use them anymore. But maybe I should keep it as memorabilia. So I did carry these for quite a few years. Oh, of course, now I found the Kydex for the Frike. But yeah, it's a super sleek package. If you want to IWB it or just most of the time I didn't even have the belt loop on there. I just throw it in my pocket. And especially if you got one of those new cell phone pockets they're putting in pants all the time. Yeah, this fits perfectly in there if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, everybody should have a hammer too. Buckhorn is Carbon Knife's Ken Onion collab. Okay, gotcha, Greg. A Boker Samurai sword. Oh, who's that other one? Is it Tor? No, it's not Tor Knives. There's somebody out there that's making some like high end, kind of like it's kind of like the zombie apocalypse Armageddon type swords. Those seem pretty cool. They're like a modern retake on a lot of older designs. I want to say Tor Knives. It might not be. I'd have to look it up again. But Jess Outdoors, how you doing? Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I've seen a couple of your videos come up recently too, Jess. You're doing awesome. How are things over in Scotland? It's Scotland, right? I want to say Ireland, but then no, it's Scotland. I think I got it right this time. Scotland, not Ireland. John's from Ireland. Oh, Greg. Yeah, bad news and then good news. I guess. Yeah, that way there we can end on a good note. What's the bad news and the good news? Um, Shiva, I think I've got, including my folder, I've got like 11 knives altogether. I have the one hammer. I've got two digging tools. I do have like a half a dozen or so silky saws. Love the silky saws. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, you're doing a guided tour, right? And you're gonna put out a video on that. Yeah, I don't know. It is a lot of knives, Steven. It is. You're absolutely right, man. I have a tremendous amount of knives. I am filthy knife rich. This is the most knife rich I have ever been in my entire life, and I kind of enjoy it. I've never really owned more than three or four knives at a time, until now. Like over the past year, I've picked up a few knives, and like I said, like three of them, I kind of like rotated out my three Spartan blades. I don't really use anymore. Got popped by cops last Sunday after dropping landlord and wife off work, taking different ways home. But yeah, yeah, I do. I actually that's kind of cool. I am on filthy knife rich. It's awesome. Don't know why I didn't go to jail. They told me I have child support warrant and my windows tint too dark. Suspended license and no insurance. Um, yeah, Greg, you got lucky on that. I think that they didn't feel like doing any paperwork, man. Yeah, thanks, Reinhard. Yeah, I'm the owner. All the credit goes to Phobos Knives, or um, yeah, by far, like yeah, I'm just the end user, and this is I'm a piggyback junkie, so that's how I'm rocking it. I am gonna get another tier one mini with. I'm gonna get the black and red scales though, so because it's got a match, right? It also has the ferro rod. Whoops. I was trying to work, still working around the camera. It's not even a camera; it's a phone on a tripod. We're old school here, man. Like I guess that's old school YouTube. So I guess it still goes to show you don't need an $8,000 camera to start your YouTube channel. The pyro putty and the ferro rod. Oh, this is right below. This is the half-ounce tin of Wicked Wax, and perfect field size. I use that for everything. Or if you're referring to this is flints, Zippo flints. I actually got some flints and replaced the flint in my Titan light, refilled it. That I should have been doing on video. When you're a dumbass and you overfill your lighter, and then you're like your fingers catch on fire, and you're kind of doing the, oh, I should put that out because my fingers are on fire. That would have been a great video, but of course I wasn't. I was just doing the thing. But yeah, this is that little 6 pack of Zippo flints I just kind of tossed up there. The That's the thing with the flints. I don't think they last too long. Um, I don't know what they had for a flint in there, but it kind of wore out pretty quick, and I had to replace them all. Zipper phone got that Okinawa Zippo. Yeah, you never know if you're gonna have to go on a Zippo raid. It's Jerry with knives. Jerry, how you doing with knives? Yeah, Jess, I used to be the same way. I always had like two or three fixed blades and then like a folder and a multi tool. And that's kind of how I always rocked my stuff. I just always did it. I'm not sure why. But I've always piggybacked stuff since like, God, I want to say like 93 or 94, back when the Gerber LMF and BMF, and then the sheaths had the strap on the front. So I would either put like the Gerber multi tool on there, that little flick out one, or like a Gerber Gator. And I've always done that, and I just got more into the double fixed blades and stuff. Yeah, yeah, Greg. We're all hoping you get a lenient judge, my man. Empty bigs have huge splints. I always rock them. I'll make a note of that, Pat. You just, yeah. Reinhardt, I don't know how much all of them I think, do you want like an individual pricing or like the total? I think the total value of all my knives is somewhere's around 3,000 or something if you put them all together. Somewhere's in that vicinity. Just like fixed blades and stuff. I don't know. I don't look at cost as much as I do function and everything like that. But I guess my price range for a fixed blade is like typically like 200 to 350 ish, maybe 400 if it's something extra special, but more like the 250 to 350 range for fixed blades and folders and stuff is my comfort zone. So yeah, what is that called? Like a mid tech or something? Um, I think that's where I fall into it. Like there's a certain point where you just you're not getting your money's worth anymore. You're just paying for the Gucci name or the designer name. And yeah, I think we've all learned that China did all that stuff on those big bags, like a 30, 40,000 dollar handbag or whatever, and the real cost of it is less than $1,000 bucks, but then the company upcharges it to like 30, 40,000, 20,000. Depreciating return is what that's called. Like there's a certain point where you're getting your money's worth for materials and craftsmanship, and beyond that, you're just getting the Gucci name. Um, I'm cobbling together a LBVFLC and trying to figure out a blade choice and mounting. Might have to get a knife. Yeah, ground fog. Get the calcula, man. I've thought about doing that. In fact, they when I've got the money, I'm gonna get one of those full tank tactical has that modular chest rig, and once I get it, I'll know for sure. But I'm planning to mount a calcula on the bottom of the rig. Pow! So it'll be like a push out this way, blade out, on the bottom of the chest rig. So yeah, I think yeah, depending on how you want to carry it, or maybe you can get away with just changing the sheath. Like I've put a lot of thought into that lately, and the sheath is just as important as the knife, in my opinion. So depending on how you want to carry it, and there's so many ways to carry a knife. Um, but I think you being more consistent with the tool is more important than owning a lot of tools. So if yeah, figuring out different ways to carry the same tool, whether you're going to EDC it or mount it to your PFD, your personal flotation device. For whitewater kayaking is going to be a different application. Yeah, so maybe stick with the knife you already have and then change out the sheath, man. That might be a better answer. I don't know what you got for knives, but Good news is right before on Thursday, I got my early birthday gift from Neve's Knives and a full size McGarren. So yeah, Ground Fog. That's something I might look into. Is or you might want to look into is maybe switching out the sheath for a knife you already have. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I find so attractive about Phobos knives is muscle memory, but familiarity with how it fits in your hand and stuff, and that's why I like the tier one BC as well as the Calcula. There is a slight difference in the scales, the overall size and stuff. Like the Calcula is a bit shorter, but in hand it feels it's very familiar. So when I go to grip the Calcula or the tier one BC, it's familiar. I'm gonna be in that sweet spot, that common grip for myself, or anybody's gonna do the same thing. But when you have drastically different handles, then it really is like learning two whole different knives. I'm not sure. Wow, I think I just turned that into a word salad or something. Maybe does that make sense, guys? Like, do you see the similarity in the design? And I think that's equally as important. They are two different functioning knives. I mean, they do have some overlap, no doubt about that. But it's nice. It's nice that when I do grab it, it's extremely familiar, and that's what I like about it. So, but I could change the sheath up substantially. Um, like yeah, I could carry it in this leather sheath, and yeah, because I'm lefty, everybody knows that. And this will have different applications. This is a little bit more dressy, a little bit more bushcrafty. You might look more like Hunter McGee or Grizzly Adams or something rather than, the Cupcake Commando. But likewise, I can put it in a dangler and carry it in a Kydex. I've got better edge retention than I do with leather for sure. I could take the dangler off and just lace this onto any type of molly or anything like that. Um, but I've got the same knife with multiple carry options. And the sheath typically is the cheaper end of it. The knife is expensive, so you can kind of like diversify your kit without grossly overspending. Joey, I think that I like the Magna Cut. I think it's a great steel. I think overall, a lot of reviews of it are good. I think some people just say that some things suck because they can't afford it. We had that. I used to have a sticker on my paintball gun because everybody, when Angels came out, they were like some of the first high performance electro pneumatic paintball guns out there, and people would be like, "Oh, they suck it," but it outperformed everything on the market. And then I found the perfect sticker for my nitro tank, and it says Angels only suck because you can't afford one. And that's kind of like that would be my argument with that. Like everything about Magna Cut is great, the edge retention, all that stuff. And some people will haggle over. They're so like the super steels are more difficult to sharpen. They are if you're using like the old technology of using like a stone or something like that. Yeah, you're gonna have a hell of a time sharpening it. But if you change out your sharpening system, there's no difference in sharpening a super steel versus a traditional steel in technique or anything, but your equipment's going to change rather than using like an Arizona stone. You're going to get yourself a diamond plate. So, and if you know how to sharpen the same rules apply. LP, how you doing, my man? I make clothes and sell them mid checking them out. Yeah, Pat. I think yes. Some things are a bit overhyped, but I don't know when I transitioned to super steels, I was like completely astonished. And that was like my first super steel was those Spartan blades with the S35 VN steel, and it had been quite a few years since I had used anything other than typical. But I right off the bat noticed a substantial difference in edge retention and lower maintenance and same thing with the newer coatings. Like um, there's different qualities of coatings for sure. But yeah, like the DLC that they use on the Spartan blades is really awesome. It does hold up well, and it adds to corrosion resistance and things like that. Versus like old school, powder coating and everything. And now, yeah, I guess Cerakote. I've done some research on Cerakote, and Cerakote is the bomb as well. And I'm definitely looking forward to putting some Cerakote to the test. But yeah, the materials and stuff like that, I do think we pay a certain amount of hype. But and that's the whole thing is like Phobos Knives has gone the opposite route. He tries to keep his prices down and everything. So I know some people are like overcharging for that stuff. But it does take more. It is more expensive to sharpen them and stuff like that. So there's definitely some subtle differences, or maybe even major differences. But in the end, it ends up being same same. Like I said, some people will argue over, oh, super steels suck to sharpen. It's like not if you have the right sharpening kit. It's the same exact thing. You're doing the same exact thing, just instead of using a stone to wear out a softer steel, you're using diamonds to work a harder steel. I think even Neves Nice would agree with that. Any thoughts on rubber conditioner for nice with overmold handles? Um, I think that would fall under maintenance. I don't know too much about that. I don't really. Yeah, you're talking like the Falcon Even type style. I've never really got into that too much because yeah, rubber does dry out and cracks and everything. Like my Defender OtterBox, that's at the point now where like the rubber's dried out and it's falling apart. So I would use it, but I don't. Yeah, it's really hard for me to say ground fault because I don't have a lot of experience with that. I use a workshop precision guided sharpener with diamond stone and ceramic to finish it off when I strop it. Yeah, yeah, Joey, exactly the same. Yeah, that's what I've been kind of using for. I think that's. I don't even think I have the precision one. I have the regular one. The workshop. What I want to get is the Wicked Edge, the Gen 4 Pro with the yeah, that's gonna be my final sharpener. I use Lansky for probably like 20, 25, 30 years. I used a Lansky sharpener, and I used to have the stone ones. I stopped using those. I gave those away, and I got the diamond sharpener. But then I learned a lot more about like stropping maintenance, and I got more into stropping, and I found that like I hardly ever have to sharpen a knife on a stone. I usually just strop, and as long as you keep up on your maintenance, it's all you really need. Oh yeah, yeah, Clint. So that's awesome though. I wish I had more freehand sharpening skills. Maybe it's something I'll work on. Yeah, Joey, these things are great. I kind of like it. I kind of do. I kind of don't. I'm a little indifferent about it sometimes. What I don't like about this one is like this thing kind of flexes, so you can't push too hard on it. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to get the Wicked Edge Gen 4 Pro is kind of my goal. Maybe this year, maybe next year, who knows? Yeah, workshop ceramic kitchen rod is awesome. Yeah, that's cool, Pat. And Crazy just came into the chat. Yeah, the workshop field shop. I used that little Lansky one for quite a while. Uh, yeah, this one right here. What is this one called? The Lansky. Yeah, one of these. They're pretty good. Um, Yeah, it does have the little needle thing for if you've got serrations and stuff. But yeah, mostly just the ceramic end of it. I'm not a fan of the carbide cutters. They tend to. Um, yeah, yeah. Joey the Roach. There is. Trend has Trend. They do have what they call a diamond stone eraser, and they've also got like a lapping fluid that helps keep your diamond plates clean. But yeah, Trend does make a diamond plate cleaner. So yeah, you can and just kind of like I guess that's maintenance. Like you would resurface your stones after a while. Lusamar, how you doing, my man? Welcome to the chat. And if we missed anybody, happy Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. Palm dia. Is that what is that Portuguese? I don't know. But yeah, yeah, Joey, check out Trend. They definitely have some diamond plate sharpening option. Not sharpening, but cleaning options. My mistake. Yeah, Dawn and a plastic brush is what I use. Yeah, there you go. And Pat's got the home remedy. Yeah, Dawn and a plastic brush. Yeah, that definitely works. But I wonder. I haven't given it a try yet. I'm definitely going to try it. They've got that lapping fluid, and I wonder how much of a help that is in the sharpening process and whatnot. Oh, Joe, you're welcome, man. And yeah, I think it's a great trade of information. That's kind of why I do this. Like, if I don't know, somebody in the chat knows. Like, and I'm always honest with everybody about everything. I'm not like a super knife guru. I have very limited knowledge in knives, but I know what I use. But like, there's a number of people in here that know a lot more about knives than I do. Pat's one of them. Brand new American. I would hands down. He knows more about knives than I do. Nick Martino. He probably knows more about knives than I do. A lot of the guys in here are a little bit more specific than I am. Um, yeah, we all have our forte in life. Bare Bones, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, James, I got the obrigado part. That's about. I know a little bit. I know I shouldn't even say that. I know very little Portuguese. I did work. Skydive Collegeville in Pennsylvania had the owners of that were Brazilian or from Brazil, and man, I got introduced to Brazilian barbecue, and there's no turning back, man. Yeah, Joey, yeah, that's definitely a trick there. I'm gonna get more into stropping. I want to get more into the finer details of it as I go along. Yeah, so some of this channel is learn with me, learn as we go. Crispy Critter, how you doing, man? We were just talking about you earlier. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the chat. Happy Mother's Day to your missus. Um, yeah, yeah. What do we got going on? Whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, awesome seeing you, Crispy. I hope life is treating you well, my man. I had a few friends in Brazil. I know enough to kind of get a general. Yeah, look like Dexter's toolkit. Yeah. Um, Dexter, isn't that's kind of like a geeky thing, right? Yeah. What time we got going? Did anybody find out is Grumpy going live today or wasn't sure? I know he's been kind of hit or miss lately. Will you correct my friends? Barbonis just sent me. Oh, Lee, well, hey, welcome to the club. Thanks for showing up. We definitely appreciate people spreading the word around. And yeah, well, welcome to the chat, my man. Pissing. Yeah, um, yeah. How's that old saying go? I see, said the blind man pissing into the wind. It all comes back to me now. So, Crispy, what do you got planned for today, man? You gonna do a little barbecue or something, or anything going on? Yeah, that's yeah, little old school sayings there. And yeah, I've got a mess going on here. So any yeah, anybody got anything planned for today? Special Mother's Day things? I finally got more matches, guys. I know we brought that up a little bit. I got a few boxes. Buy these like you can get like 4 packs of these. I recommend that. Cause yeah, they charge like $8 for one box, but you can get like 4 boxes for like $20. Then you got a little bit to divide about your day. Going to in-laws for burgers and dogs. Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna do I think we got some ribeyes to throw on the steak for the missus. Go and eat dinner with the children. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, they beat that yesterday. They decided to go out and do their out dining yesterday, missus and the kids, to kind of beat the rush. And then yeah, today we're gonna throw some ribeyes on the grill, and I think there's gonna be some rabbit food on the side. Who really cares about that end of it? But yeah, Terry, how you doing, my man? I just found a box full of old screws and old new boxes of T50 and 225 staples. Score. Yeah, it's always yeah, and it saves you from having to go out and buy it, right, Nick? Yeah, it's always a bonus. You find some hardware, something. Yeah, laying low like a rug. Yeah, exactly. Or yeah, as I like to say to the vegans and stuff. Yeah, my food poops on your food. um, that was a T-shirt I saw somewhere. Man did not scrape and claw his way to the top of the food chain to eat rabbit food. We work too hard. We should, yeah. I still now I want to go rewatch that YouTube video I had found where there was some like the vegans were protesting a meat packing plant or something, and so dude set up a hot dog stand across the street giving away free hot dogs during a vegan protest thing. Yeah, yeah, Nick. Yeah, the fresh vegetables. That's what. We could check with Papa Rhino about it, but I'm pretty sure that's what they call garnish. It's like there to make it look pretty and stuff. You're not necessarily meant to eat it, but yeah, the rabbit food is more like garnish. Just adds a little color to it. Yeah, and that's why I love you, honey, because she loves vegetables, which means there's more meat left on the plate for me. Oh yeah, Carl. No, not quite the zombie apocalypse. We're getting there though. Um, we're getting close. I got a few more things to pick up. I'm gonna do a very well rounded all around kit. Yeah, in fact, yeah. What else have we got going? I think that's kind of it. I'm missing a knife somewhere. Not sure how I managed to do that, but got to be careful what I grab too. Yeah, so that's kind of going on there. Oh, thanks, BDE. Yeah, yeah, we definitely we enjoy our blades. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, is anybody else getting static? How's the audio for everybody else? Yeah, just getting caught up on the comments here. Why should we burn some stuff, honey? Get ready to start the grill up. Staticky. They're static. Might be. I don't know. We've had issues with the internet, with all the weather, all the rain and wind and everything. I think it affects the internet. I don't. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't have a mic yet. I haven't gotten a mic yet. It's the speaker that's on the phone. Like, so my phone does better video than it does audio. So I actually have to like that's why I have the tabletop set up. It's like a FPOV. And if I move away from the microphone too much, which is the phone, and then yeah, it gets crappy. But we'll get there someday. We're gonna get lights and all that fancy YouTube stuff. Yeah, I have like the ultimate ghetto rig. I just have like a tripod leaning against my workbench. It's like the Milwaukee workbench, and then yeah, I just have the phone, and then that's plugged in. But yeah, I'm just yeah, I'm doing like 15-year-old YouTube style. Like apparently, you can get your whole channel going with just a phone, and so far it's been right. I mean, I've used nothing more than just my Samsung Note 9, and which I've had for like 8 or 9 years now. I'm just I don't buy a phone every 6 months. I don't understand that. But yeah, the video on it's great. The audio is kind of second rate, so I do have to. At some point, I got to upgrade, but I got to upgrade the. I got to get a computer and all that fancy geek stuff and learn how to use it. Tap in, cuz. Um, yeah, it's slow though. Yeah, I finally got the channel monetized, and since I've gotten monetized after YouTube's taken their cut, I'm almost halfway to a check. They don't pay out until like $100, and I'm at like 48. So it is what it is. It'll come. I mean, I've made it this far with just the phone. I think I'll get there. Rome wasn't built in a night, and I'm not in this for a week or a month or a year. I'm in it for the long haul. So we'll see how it goes over time. It'll help once I stop saying stupid shit on Friday nights, though. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some people get butt hurt. Whatever. Coming back and watching these lives helps guys a lot. Yeah, and then once, yeah, like I got to get a laptop or something that can edit because I have like a what they call a netbook. So I tried editing video on it, but anything over like 4 or 5 minutes, when you try to render it, it just ends up crashing the system. I get that blue screen thing. So I have to like do some like serious upgrades, but I'll figure it out. Things will get sorted out. I'm not one like I said. I'll endure whatever hardships I have to make this happen. It's all part of the process, and for me, I guess yeah, I've got a long ways to go starting from the bottom. So I had very little to start off with when starting this channel. So the further it goes, it's just more successful. So I gotta start behaving myself better. Like yeah, as when the trolls come in, I probably shouldn't call them a fucktard. That probably is not beneficial. But it is what it is. I call it how I see it. Built in one piece at a time. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna build it up. We'll get there. Like I said, I should probably behave more, but I'd rather just be genuine. BDE. If you go to phobosKnives.com, he sells direct. Um, yeah. So just go to. I don't do links either, so that's not helping me. Yeah, I guess. I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna go the hardest route possible. But that's why I'd rather climb the cliff than take a helicopter to the top. So that's just how I roll. But yeah, if you go to phobosKnives.com and yeah, he just recently switched everything over. He's selling direct, and in fact, he recently was it a couple months ago he lowered the prices. When everybody else was jacking the prices up, he made some business decisions that made it possible for him to actually lower his price while everybody else is going up 15, 20%. He dropped his like 15, 20%. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Yeah, I'd rather hurt you with the truth than kill you with a lie. So, and yeah, man, but some people come up in here, they really tend to bring it. I'm going to do a better job at booting those people sooner, though. Um, Yeah, especially when they're in here lying. That one dude was like, how old he said he was 46, but then he ended up only being 15, and he's running his mouth like somebody who's never suffered any consequences. Yeah, Eddie, thanks for letting us know you know nothing about what you're talking about. But yeah, dude. And that right there is a great example of somebody who lives in a life called the moronathon. Yeah, Nick, I try to, and it's something that's plagued me like most of my adult life is I'm just used to James is getting trigger time today. Yeah, we're gonna have to send James one of the troll sniper tabs pretty soon. Um, but yeah, and I think it's a byproduct of being a parachute rigger. I really don't care about your feelings. I care about the results. Um, and that's just how it is. And in being in skydiving, there are some people, believe it or not, that just don't have the ability to skydive as much as they want to. And I've seen a few of those people not make it out. So I just got very blunt about like, dude, you suck at skydiving. You probably should find a different hobby. And that's just that's just how I roll now. Um, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I care about facts, not feelings, and yeah, I've got some opinions on stuff. They might be a little bit different, but it is what it is. I don't know how much. I don't think some of it you might not say, well, that doesn't apply to bushcraft, and I think, well, life in general applies to everything. It falls under morals and ethics, and that's how your thought process is evolved. Um, yeah, yeah, like those that know my opinion on professional sports, regardless of what yours is. I mean, I have my opinion, and I think some people just get butthurt on it. Like, what was I? Because I was calling it Tom Bitch Pants Brady, because I think that's grossly overpaid. Like people, like professional. I don't know. I worked in professional. I mean, I guess you could call skydiving a professional sport, and we didn't make anywhere near the money. But yet, there's 10 to 15, 20, 25 times a day where my sport could take my life, and it's really hard to argue that jumping out of airplanes isn't a way to yeah, the accidents there are unforgiving. We'll put it that way. But man, we're lucky to see six figures a year. Like if you're making 120 grand a year skydiving professionally, you're doing good. Maybe 150, Um, but some guy running around in, whether it's pick whatever professional sport you want, MLB, NFL, NBA, the odds of them losing their life playing that game are slim to none. They might twist an ankle, they might even break a tib or something like that, but they're not gonna. So I've always just looked at it as like we over glorify the wrong people in society as we're learning, Holly Weird and those nutcases and stuff. And I just have like, um, we overpay for like, how long's a football game? If you're there for 2 or 3 hours tops, the game isn't. It was 90 minutes or something. It's an hour, 4 15-minute quarters, and people are paying thousands of dollars to sit down and watch a bunch of grown men play a child sport. Yeah, does it have its place? Yeah. Is it worth some guy getting a $30 million contract for 2 years? I don't think so because that all goes into the ticket price. And what used to be a great American pastime, going to watch your football or your baseball or your hockey or whatever it is you're watching, they're making it not affordable. Same thing like Ticketmaster did to concerts. Not that I've ever been to a concert, but now I don't think it's. I can buy the CD or something like that for 20 minutes. I mean, $20 or something like that. Why do I want to spend $1,000 to get? It just doesn't make any sense. Has anyone seen a little T handle that would take a few drill bits of thought? Ground fog. I think Big Idea Designs has one, don't they? Or I could be mistaken, but I think Big Idea Designs has like that, something like that. Oh, did I miss something? Yeah, Lego. No, I don't. I don't get into the pew pews here on the YouTube, man. We might discuss it a little bit, but yeah. But I'm not a Glock fan. I'm more of a Beretta fan myself. I like the full metal frame. I'm not into the polymer frames at all. I tried them out. I tried Glocks. I tried H&Ks. I had the USP 9 and the 40, but yeah, not a fan of the polymer stuff. But yeah, yeah, and we do we support definitely. That's one of my major projects here on this channel is supporting U.S. makers like Phobos Knife Small. He's out of Tennessee. Donnie Bless is making some amazing custom stuff. Definitely check him out, and also Terry 1931 Leatherworks. You can check him out at the EDC Roundtable. He makes some killer awls and ferro rods. Yeah, so I like promoting the smaller, the mom and pop shop stuff. That's what got Predator Tools is another one out of New Jersey. Small mom and pop shop. You call up, you're going to talk to either George Leslie himself or his wife Pam, and you talk to them once you remember their names because they're, that's the kind of quality stuff you're getting. And that's one of the things. That's why I don't touch Chinese knives on any level because I don't think that the person making the knife in China really gives a shit about you. They probably hate you because they hate their job and they hate what they're doing, but they have to, they have to pay their bills just like anybody else. So they're making it, because they have to pay their bills. Where I like companies that are making it because that's their passion, that's what they do, and they make what they make with pride. And it's a slim to none chance that you're gonna get a mistake. But I guarantee you, if I were to call up any one of those people and say, "Hey, look, man, this isn't quite right," they're going to take care of it. And what Chinese company? Yeah, they're going to swap out your crap, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, we just. I mean, there's a whole lot of reasons. I guess we could preach about it for hours, but yeah, we need to increase production in the United States and take back some of those jobs and keep our money in country. I fully support the tariffs. Because if you buy a USA made product, you have the tariffs affect you 0%, not a nothing. So, yeah, maybe we should start supporting more USA made companies. And if you're going to cry about, I hope they put like 200% on Chinese knives, 300, 400%, whatever. Because most of them are knockoffs of US made designs and products, anyhow. Um, Markley, what's up, man? A minute since I was in a live stream fast. How you been? I'm doing awesome, man. Yeah, life is going good. It's progressing. We're getting there slowly but surely. The channel's growing. We got monetized. We passed 5,000 subscribers, coming up on 5,100 or something, I think now. But we're in no rush. It'll happen when it happens. Yeah, that is the problem. People, and that's the thing is they get so used to like cheap Chinese crap quality. In fact, DBK, Dutch Bushcraft Knives, I'm sure a lot of you guys know who they are. They just did another comparison. Like, they compared the Swiss Army knife to, the genuine Swiss Army knife to a Chinese knockoff. And they got what they paid for. And I don't care how cheap a tool is, even if it's like a $5 knockoff Swiss Army. What good is it if it falls apart, if it breaks? And that's exactly. I don't know, spoiler alert, right? I guess I got to get better at this, but yeah, go watch the DBK video on that, and that's why. And but I think a lot of people that like they're posers. They buy stuff to show it, and it doesn't matter how cheap it is because it looks like it, and that's enough for them. But to those of us that genuinely use this stuff, you'll quickly find out that that stuff is like absolute poop. I said, yeah, we're trying to behave here. Yeah, those things are absolute poop, and you get what you pay for, which is like you can't rely on the tool. What's the point of having it? No, Deacon Frost. I don't have a K bar. I've owned a K bar, but no. Yeah, in fact, yeah, Terry, if you want, drop the link for the EDC roundtable. Those are all guys making stuff in the USA. Yeah, Terry, 1931 Leatherworks. He's got a bunch of stuff on there. Like I said, some custom alls, ferro rods. Does some leather work and stuff as well, if I remember right. But yeah, go ahead and drop that link for sure, man. Yeah, just getting caught up on the comments. I think the idea that the military personnel are fighting for my freedoms is a gross over exaggeration. The reason militias were created was due to their fear of the government having a standing army. Yeah, Thomas, there's all kinds of stuff. I know a lot of people that got out of the military because they didn't really feel like they were um, working in the best interest of the American people. They were more, like pawns in the government game. Certain tools are made for a purpose, and cheaping out is the number one cause of failure. Just grabbed a Leatherman Skeletal. Right on. Yeah, exactly, Mark. And bring that like one step further. If you're genuinely using the tool and the tool fails, usually when a tool fails, that comes with some type of minor injury. Hopefully it's just a minor injury. But yeah, when tools fail and things slip, it's kind of like a safe knife is a sharp knife. But yeah, when you got cheap tools that fail you, um, oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, Terry, I keep forgetting that. Do you have a link for your stuff though? Yeah. Way to go, Groundhog, because that was making no sense. Um, it is what it is. Cheap tools also don't have warranties. Because they want you to go spend another $5 and another $5, and that's exactly what happened. Um, like that's why I got out of the bargain tool thing in my personal life years ago. And Yeah, I'll just say it for what it is, man. I bought into some of those SOG knives and they were absolute shit. When I was out trying to do something with them, I broke several of them. The original, the SOG seal, because like hell, if Navy SEALs are using it, it's got to be good, right? And then the SOG Seal 2000, then the SOG Seal Elite, and then they get the SOG Pup. But after breaking about four or so of those knives, I was like, this is just not reliable in a real world situation, not just out messing around. I don't want my tools to fail. And that's when I grabbed some reading material and started educating myself on knives that don't suck, that are durable, that'll hold up. And that's what brought me to Spartan blades. And I was kind of hesitant because, going from like an average, we'll say like my budget used to be like 100 to 150 for an outdoor knife or something. And so to jump up to like what was it, $330 for the Horkos, and then at the time like another 150 for the Enyo. And but I called up Spartan Blades and I'm like, hey man, like, why are these knives so expensive? What's the technology? Like, why the cost and the whole nine yards? And I spoke with Curtis, um, and he says, and we talked for a bit. He gave me a fair amount of his time at that point in life. And he says, look, man, I'll tell you what. He said, you can buy my knives, and if that way there you can get some hands on. And he told me, he says, if you don't like it for any reason whatsoever, call me back. And he goes, I'll set you up for a full refund. I'll even pay the shipping for you to ship it back at the time. And I was like, well, I can't go wrong with that deal. So he sent me the knives, and that was my Horkos and my Enyo at the time. And I got out to using them, and I ended up calling Curtis back, and I said, hey man, I appreciate your offer, but I'll be keeping these, thank you. And they lasted me years, and I did some batoning with them. I did plenty of cutting with them, and it's great knives. And that's when I started learning about like, the difference between a crap steel edge retention and some of the higher end. And that was my introduction to the CPMS 35 VN steel. And I absolutely love those knives. They're great knives, and I'll never turn back now. Um, and Yeah, I ended up getting into Phobos nice because I wanted to do more bushcrafting stuff, and I was looking for more comfort, more ergonomics, in the scale, the handle design, and that's what got me into Phobos knives. And I've been using Phobos knives predominantly since like 2019 now, and I'll never go back. I'm definitely more quality over quantity. I would rather save up and buy a good knife than just get some. No, Merriam, it's not hard to sharpen. It is the same exact as the other stuff. What you need to do is change out what you're sharpening it with. Yeah, if you're trying to sharpen like as they call a super steel, a CPM, on a traditional stone or something, yeah, that's going to take a lot of time to sharpen it. But if you upgrade to the diamond sharpening sets, it's the same exact thing. It doesn't take any more elbow grease. It doesn't take any more work. It's just you're upgrading your sharpening kit to match the steels. I heard about those, but never grabbed one. I still can't shoot the shot and buy any sort of Benchmade yet. Pretty penny just. And yeah, Mark Kelly. I think the Benchmade has kind of gone into the Gucci range to some degree. Their knives have gone up so much. Like I was looking into Benchmade, but then I watched their like before I could buy one, their prices went up whatever 20-30%, and I was like, yeah, it's just not worth it to me anymore. Um, but yeah, I've wrecked a few SOGs as well. Yeah, and now SOG has gone even more downhill. DBK, I'll mention them again. They've come out with some great videos over the past like month or so. But they got a SOG, and I don't know what they did to the heat treatment, if they fried the edge, sharpening it, whatever. But yeah, that SOG knife was falling apart over what we would consider, average use, or like what we would use it for. It's just, and but it looks nice. Like when you first see the SOG, whatever, I think it's a SOG jungle, something SOG jungle something. But it is on DBK's channel, Dutch Bushcraft Knives. But the knife is literally falling apart as they're using it. But when you look at the knife out of the box, when it's brand new, it hasn't been used, it looks like it's a contender. But yeah, that thing got knocked out in the first round. Absolute trash. And a lot of these companies that used to be good, they've sold out. And like I said, China doesn't care what we get. I mean, look at China's infrastructure. It's always falling apart. We're getting the same shit quality with everything they send here. Their country's falling apart in a few years. Like, their building codes or whatever, their building materials and everything are all trash, and they're just sending us the same trash. They don't care. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're talking the Benchmade, yeah. Yeah, I haven't owned a Benchmade in years. One of the things that saves me from wasting money on knives is I'm left-handed. So if it comes with depending on what sheath it comes with, depends on whether or not I'll buy a knife. If it doesn't come with a sheath I can use, I typically won't buy it. It's got to be pretty special for me to buy a knife, knowing the sheath is right hand dedicated, and I have to invest into that as well because that's another adds to the expense of the knife. No, Deacon, I haven't heard of them. I've forgotten hex shank trobits or a thing I asked. I asked the Toms. Yeah, this is Benchmade I was talking. Yeah, yeah, Mark. I got Benchmade is they've grossly overinflated their prices over the past few years. Yeah, and yeah, I've looked into Benchmade. I used to have the Nimravis fixed blade. And it wasn't a bad knife. It was pretty good. Somebody liked it more than I did though, and that's how that relationship ended. um, yeah, knives sometimes are like girlfriends. You don't. Yeah, you don't lose your knife. You just lost your turn. Mark, I usually carry I just throw it in my pocket. I either it depends on what I'm doing. I mean, like an EDC knife, I try to pocket carry it, even a fixed blade. If I'm out in the woods doing like camping and stuff like that, I'll just belt carry with a dangler. Yeah, just getting caught up on the comments. Make sure I got everybody here. But yeah, that's that. But yeah, it's 10:30, guys. I think I'm actually gonna wrap this one up. I'm gonna start getting them steaks ready to throw on the grill. It's Mother's Day, so we're gonna hook Miss Bushcraft up with some tasty, delicious ribeye steaks from the grill. So I'm gonna start getting that ready. But I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. Just as a reminder, lives are Friday nights at 8 p.m. and Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we'll be back for that. And yeah, Miss Bushcraft is going back to work tomorrow, so I'm going to get to work on producing some more content and try to take this channel to the next level. But yeah, Mark, it was good seeing you again. Everybody else, thanks for hanging out. We had an awesome time, awesome discussion. If you didn't learn something, I hope you laughed a little. If you didn't laugh a little, I hope you learned a little something. But thanks for being here, everybody. Make sure call your mothers Happy Mother's Day, or your children's mothers as well. All that good stuff. Have a happy Mother's Day, everybody. We'll see you soon. Thanks for hanging out, and yeah. This has been an awesome live. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you on the next one.